Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV presents True Crimes. Okay, so we're going to be talking about twin sisters who slaughtered their mother, 34 years old, and they just killed her in a completely unprovoked attack. Okay, this occurred in Conyers, Georgia. So let me change this banner really quick, and we'll go ahead and get into it. Okay, there we go. Hello, Melanateds, Chrono Cross, Jeff ATL, Pearly, General Overtourist Black, okay. Rain Love, Ryan. Okay, Howard is Black. Let's get into it. This is a ghastly story. I don't know what kind of psychopaths these girls were, but clearly they were psychopaths. The Whitehead twins did everything together, including killing their mother. Now, Jasmiyah Whitehead ran toward the road screaming, waving her arms. Hold on, people. I need to put on my spectacles. This lights bother my eyes. Really bother my eyes. Okay. Jasmiyah Whitehead ran toward the road screaming, waving her arms at the police car that happened to be driving past her home in Conyers, Georgia. Now, she told the deputy that she and her identical twin sister, Tasmiyah, had come home from school to find their mother dead, submerged in her bathtub. Jamaica, or Nikki, as some people called her, Whitehead, was age 34, and she had been beaten and stabbed 80 times, people, with a kitchen knife. Now, the house in which she lived with her 16-year-old girls and her boyfriend told of a violent end. There were blood stains on the carpet, on the walls, drag marks between the living room and the bathroom. They say it was the bloodiest scene I think I'd ever been to. This is what Lieutenant Chris Moon of Conyers Police Department would later tell NBC. Now, as investigators descended on the crime scene that afternoon, which was January the 13th of 2010, the girls were taken away from the horror to the local police station. On the way, Tasmiyah began biting her arm, a nervous habit. She told query officers just something she'd do when she was upset. Now, a short time later, safe in an interrogation room, they were consoled by detectives. They say these two girls were hugging each other in each other's arms. And when I said, "What can I do to make this easier for you?" Detective Ken Swift asked. He said, they turned and looked at me and said, "Can we watch CSI?" Say, what now? Your mother is dead. Are you asking to watch a whole TV show? Now, immediately the hairs on the back of my neck stood straight up. Essentially, it was right then that I was like, okay, something is very, very off. They seemed very innocent and sweet, but Nikki was 17 years old when she gave birth to Jasmiyah and Tasmiyah, or Jazz and Taz, as they were known. The girls spent their childhood in the care of their great-grandmother, Delia Frazier, before Nikki took custody of them when they were 13 and moved them to Conyers. Now, they were Girl Scouts and honor roll students, but once in high school, they rebelled against their mother's discipline. According to Rockdale News, a court was later told that Nikki believed that the girls were sexually active, also using marijuana and skipping school. The girls, on the other hand, were resentful of their mother's attitude towards them. This is what County District Attorney Richard Reed later told the court. He said they believed she was a hypocrite because she was promiscuous and used marijuana. Wow. Got to be careful what you do around your kids, people. Got to be careful. Okay, so their strained relationship led to several altercations and multiple 911 calls. Now, one incident on June 28th of 2008 brought Conyers police officer Myra Scruggs to their house. She said the girls seemed very innocent, very sweet, but the look in Nikki's face was that she was fearful of those children. She knew that they worked together, Officer Scruggs told the Crime Daily, or the True Crime Daily. Unsettled, Scruggs left the home, but remained in the area. Within minutes, Nikki made a second 911 call saying that she'd been attacked. The girls claimed to have been defending themselves against an assault by their mother. Nikki had scratches on her neck, scratches on her chest, and she was hysterical, said Officer Scruggs. The girls, on the other hand, had no marks on them and no indication that really they had been in any kind of altercation. Talking with them, I didn't believe a thing that the girls were saying. You could have been two strangers and there would have been more emotion shown. Now, a juvenile court declared the girls to be ungovernable, returned them to the custody of their great-grandmother, and ordered them to undergo counseling along with their mother. This is what Rockdale News reported. Now, they remained in Delia's care until they landed themselves back in court for truancy and running away from home. And a judge put them back in Nikki's custody again. Now, the decision on January the 5th of 2010 caused chaos in the hallway of juvenile court. D.A. Reed later told the court, according to the Rockdale News, that it just got really tense and there was a lot of drama. Now, Jasmiyah was the most upset and said in the presence of the victim, which was her mother, Nikki, "If I have to go live with you, I'm going to kill you." A week later, Nikki was dead. Honey, let me tell you something. When somebody says they're going to kill you, believe them. Because first of all, who says that? I don't care how mad I get. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to kill you. Okay? And not really going to be planning to do it, that is. I'm just saying. If I said it, then I 9 times out of 10 meant it. Because who says that? Just because you get upset. I just realized that I wasn't subscribed to this channel. I'm pretty sure I was. You know how they do, Monica, beloved. You know how they do. 7 Scale says facts, Queen. Okay? Yes. This is clearly crazy. So anyway, in the hours after Nikki Whitehead's murder, police turned their attention to Jazz and Taz. Now, they both worn gloves to the station and didn't remove them once inside. When police asked to see their arms and hands, both had bite marks and scratches. The twins dismissed the wounds as a result of an earlier fight they'd had. Then once separated, their account of the day's events began to unravel. Though they said they'd only been 10 minutes late to school on the morning of the murder and that they'd walked there, the surveillance footage showed them hitching a ride with a stranger hours later. Back at the crime scene, investigators found their bloody clothes in the washing machine, evidence of the bleach on the carpet as if someone had attempted to clean blood up later. Hair belonging to one of the girls was found in Nikki's teeth. The bite marks on Tasmiyah's left arm, the ones that she had tried to cover up on the way to the station, yeah, those match Nikki's dental records. So she was fighting for her life, people. She's biting their hair and biting them like they were literally beating her to death, right? Crazy. And then they stabbed her 80 times. Do you know how crazy it is that, you get stabbed all these times? So anyway, they say, but it took 4 months for police to pull together all the evidence. 4 months during which time the twins were placed in the care of the Division of Family and Children's Services, and they lived separately. They continued at the same school, hung out with friends as normal. They even went to their school formal. They were finally arrested on May the 21st of 2010, charged with felony murder and aggravated assault. They pleaded not guilty. But still awaiting trial nearly 4 years later, and they faced the plea deal. They were faced with a plea deal. They ultimately confessed to voluntary manslaughter. Police tape showed Jasmiyah describing that on the morning that they killed their mother, they fought with her over the fact that they were running late for school. They claimed she threatened them with a pot from the kitchen, which escalated into an all-out brawl. They said she just started waving the pot around, things like that. Whatever. So I guess she was trying to hit us with the pot. You guess she was trying to hit you with the pot? This is what Jasmiyah told detectives. She wrestled the pot from Nikki, who then grabbed a steak knife. She never used it. Jasmiyah struck her with the pot first. Then they then choked her with a ribbon. As they screamed and wrestled, Nikki bit, punched, and scratched the girls until Tasmiyah attacked with the knife. Let me tell y'all something. How they're telling this story, she probably did grab the pot, but not in the context of how they're telling it. They're making it seem like she was the aggressor and like she just went and got a pot and said, oh, I'm going to hit you with this pot or whatever. Let me tell you something. That woman was scared of them. She called 911 on them before. They were unruly. She had to go to court. They ended up going back to live with her grandmother. With that all being said, I'm pretty sure they started the whole thing, and she likely grabbed the pot. Now, this is just my opinion, but she likely grabbed the pots once they acted aggressive and likely said they were going to jump her. So they say, I think I picked up a knife and I stabbed her. I think I stabbed her in the stomach. It was multiple times. Together, they dragged her into the tub where Nikki spoke her final words. She said, she hates us. She hates us. That we're going to jail. I told her I was sorry. Sure you did. Shocked by what they'd done, the pair cried for a long time. Then they attempted to clean up the scene, changed their clothes, and went to school. I don't think they cried at all. I think they're lying about that part. It wasn't a fight like on the street. It was more like a fight until somebody dies, Jasmiyah confessed to the police. I didn't hate her, and Taz didn't hate her either. I guess it heat of the moment and built up anger between all three of us. The twins were each sentenced to 30 years in prison in 2014. Let me tell you something. I think they absolutely hated their mother. Those twins were demonic and evil. Yes, psychopaths, exceptionally psychopaths, right? What kind of kids were they to kill their own mother? Exactly. Exactly. So let me tell y'all something. Less supervision with grandma. Yes, let me tell you something. When they were living with the grandmother, see, they had gotten used to that lifestyle because the grandmother was old and elderly. She couldn't control them. So they were pretty much doing what they wanted to do. They were coming and going as they pleased. They would sneak out late at night and sneak back in early in the morning. What could she do? So when they started getting out of hand, and then they had to go live with their mother. Here's the thing. I believe that the reason it was so easy for them to kill their mother, first of all, I feel like they resented her because she had not really raised them. They only started living with her when they were 13. By then, they're already teenagers. And they likely had no respect for her because they hadn't been around her. And they clearly didn't have a bond. You understand what I'm saying? So it was probably nothing for them to kill her. To them, she was probably just some woman off the streets as far as they were concerned. But that was just heinous what they did. Saturday says, I'm sorry, mommy, for acting aggressive and killing you. Y'all two girls shut up. And those demons should be in juvie from the get-go. Should have been. Yes, they absolutely should have been there from the get-go. Okay? I don't know why, after they threatened to kill her at that meeting, I don't know why they didn't put them in juvenile then for terroristic threats. So that was just all so crazy. One who cares said, shaking my damn head, not mine. Honey, I know that's right. Ooh, and you know what? The thing is, she was literally afraid of them because she probably knew how wicked they were. Now, she probably didn't know that they were wicked enough to kill her, but she knew that they worked in unison and that whatever one of them did, the other one was going to be complicit with it. And that's just a sad story if you ask me. Very sad. The grandmother better be thanking her lucky stars that they didn't kill her. Okay? It's a good thing she was letting them get away with whatever they wanted to get away with. They wouldn't come back to my house. They wouldn't have come back to my house either, honey. Let me tell you something. When they went to that meeting that day at the courthouse and they told her, if I come back to live with you, I'm going to kill you. They wouldn't have come back to my house and nobody would have made me take them in. I would have simply told the judge, I'm in fear for my life, or they just threatened to kill me. So no, I'm not letting them come stay with me because I'm not going to have to live in a house where I got to sleep with one eye open or where I have to lock my bedroom door when I go to sleep at night. That's what I'm not going to do. I would not have let them come back in my house at all. Okay? Why would the system place them with the mother? Doesn't make sense. No, it really doesn't. My twin boys know I don't play for real, okay? So that's also crazy, but that's the story of Jasmiyah and Tasmiyah Whitehead. So they're still in jail or prison, still in prison where they should be. And I'm just wondering, they will still be young when they get out because they were only like 16 when they did this. Well, they went to prison in 2014. So they were 20 by then. So they'll likely get out when they're 50. Just threw their whole lives away and took their mother's life. And then they said that this whole thing escalated because she was getting on them because they were late for school. So they got that mad because she was telling them to get ready for school so they can hurry and leave. Also crazy. And here's how let me tell y'all something. They hated their mother. I really believe they did. And they didn't have any remorse. You know how they said they sat there and cried? They didn't sit there and cry. After they killed their mother, you really think they sat there and cried, people? These are the same two who, when they got to the police station, And the officer asked them, is there anything we can do to make this easier for you? They said, can we watch CSI? Can we watch CSI? Does that sound like somebody that was sorry or cried when they killed her? I don't think so. I don't think so. No way would I be sleeping having demons looming and lurking around over me. Exactly. Exactly. So if I was their mother, those twins would have been scared to sleep around me. Absolutely. So no, the hell they didn't cry. No, they didn't. I don't believe that for a minute. And yes, she was trying to defend herself. I mean, but can you just fathom? You're a parent, and these are your own two children that you birthed into this world, and they're beating you and stabbing you to death. They stabbed that woman 80 times. Now, you know something? Now, they said when they took off the gloves or whatever, they had scratches and cuts and whatever and bite marks, but they had to also have had cuts on their hands. Because if you stab someone 80 times, your hand starts to slip on the knife handle because of all the blood, and it's making it slippery. And people always use, when you stab someone that many times, you always have some type of markings on your hands, unless you wear some thick gloves, like some leather gloves. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. They didn't want authority. No, they didn't. And the mother, yeah, and the mother got in their way. Exactly. They was looking for any reason to take the mother out. Yep. I mean, you know they did it all on purpose. You know what? They should have really, in my opinion, they should have gotten charged with premeditated murder, murder in the first. Because they told her they were going to kill her. The one of them did. If I have to come live with you, I'm going to kill you. And a week later, she was dead. That means, to me, you've been plotting that all along, honey. And like you said, they were waiting for any opportunity. That's just real crazy. You're right, Emma's Bliss. I absolutely believe that. So listen, I'm going to conclude this broadcast, people. Thank you all for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV Presents True Crimes. Make sure you like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time I go live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAmadai_Shakur. Also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27. Twitter at dgoddess27. Brighton and Patreon at Queen Amadai Shakur. So I hope to see you all in the chat at 6 o'clock, people. Peace.